Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. So it's been a couple of days since we last spoke about Andor, because we've had some big news elsewhere in the galaxy far far away, notably regarding The Mandalorian Season 3. But since tomorrow is Andor Episode 9, let's get back into the swing of discussion surrounding it and what to expect going forward. Right off the bat, great news. Screeners for Andor Episodes 9 and 10 have gone out, and the reactions from those lucky few who got early access have been overwhelmingly positive. Here is one that says, Andor Episode 8 was insane, but just wait for 9 and 10. The train keeps on going. What a damn show. A few others emerged, all very positive as I say, with a consistent theme throughout all of the reviews of being amazed and in some cases surprised. And so to kick off our preview, let's talk about some teasers from the cast and crew from over the last few days. The biggest hint was provided by Dedra Meero actress Denise Gough. She said that while we've had a lot of sympathy for Dedra in the first half of Season 1, everything is about to change. In her own words, Denise says, Tony wrote the first scenes for us to cheer for Dedra, but in the end, you don't do it anymore. She's not just a woman in a men's world, but a fascist in a world of fascists. And as we know, one of the aims of this series was to reflect the real political world from here on Earth in an artistic, galaxy far far away setting. And when it comes to Denise Gough's words on Dedra, I strongly believe we're going to start to see that tomorrow, because now that the Empire has taken control over Ferrix and Dedra took over from Blevin in the Morlana sector, we see Dedra at the end of episode 8 interrogating Pac, and now she's about to interrogate and possibly torture Bix. What I'm saying is the loss of sympathy for Dedra Meero is about to begin, and her true colours are about to emerge. She is much more radical than how she appears, and this quote from Denise really captures what so many fans love about Andor. The grey nature of the narrative is there to repeatedly challenge the viewer, and Dedra now is no exception. In her earlier episodes, we're made to want to root for her, and at various points here and there, many fans believe that she would be redeemed. After all, we've seen plenty of characters like Agent Kallus in Star Wars Rebels, or even Migs Mayfeld in The Mandalorian, who left the Empire to join the good guys. They saw the Empire for what it was, an oppressive and fascist regime. But even as Denise said before the show started, seeing her as the underdog fighting in this cruel world of the ISB, the audience feels the need to cheer for her. But this change that we're now about to see is where Dedra's writing is so clever. Her ideals are just as extreme, if not more extreme, than the Empire itself, and her true story isn't about being an underdog. It's way more complex than that, and while we have no idea how the season or the show's going to play out, we're about to see such a different side to Supervisor Meero. So going forward, we'll keep an eye on her story and analyse it as it comes up. Now, in other Andor hints for the remaining 4 episodes of Season 1, we do have some new frames from new TV spots. Notably, we see a full-scale revolution on Ferrix. All of the town is ready to stand up for change, stand up to the Empire, and who knows, maybe Maarva and the daughters of Ferrix are going to be leading the coup. But this shot in particular has led a lot of Star Wars fans to speculate that a funeral might be taking place in an upcoming episode. There is a procession taking place and Ferrix civilians on Rick Road on either side with their heads bowed. Could this be a funeral for Maarva, who might be killed off this season as some folks expect? Maybe through an act of bravery or maybe even accidentally in the fight. Now we're going to come back to Maarva in just a moment. Other shots tell us that Andor's escape from prison on Narkina 5 is imminent, and we even hear him tell Kino, Andy Serkis's character, that the Empire is afraid. So maybe in the upcoming episode or episodes, we're going to see Melshi, Cassian and Kino devise a plan of action. Another really interesting shot is seeing Vel talking with Mon Mothma, which makes me think she's in contact with others within Luthen's circle. And going back to Ferrix, we also see Syril Khan, so maybe Dedra's gonna start taking him seriously and realise he's an asset to the ISB. So I think he goes undercover either by his own will or if he's been recruited. We know from Carl Solar that Syril and Dedra end up being very close by the end of Season 1, almost romantic. And so just before we move on to our next topic guys, in case you missed it, yesterday we spoke about The Mandalorian Season 3 because Jason and Making Star Wars has unveiled the release date, the date of the final trailer, and when we're getting an official poster. I covered all of that and more, so go and check that video out if you've not done so. But now my dear friends, let's talk about Maarva. StarWars.com did an interview with the amazing legendary actress Fiona Shaw. Now she plays Maarva Andor, Cassian's adoptive mother in this series, but you might also know her if you're a Harry Potter fan as Aunt Petunia. So let's see what they said. Daughter of Ferrix, Andor's Fiona Shaw on the role of Cassian's mother, Maarva. Now it's really interesting they use the phrase daughter of Ferrix, because in episode 8, we learn there's a second meaning to that. Of course it refers to Maarva being from Ferrix, but it also refers to a group that exists on the planet, referenced by Bix, the Daughters of Ferrix, of which Maarva was a member, but we'll come to that in just a moment. And so they say, of all the people Cassian Andor has met in Andor, the new Star Wars live-action series on Disney+, there's one person Diego Luna believes has the greatest impact on his character's journey, his mother Maarva, played by Fiona Shaw. The Irish-born actor has played Harry Potter's aunt in the Harry Potter films and a stone-cold MI6 agent in Killing Eve. But her turn as Cassian's adoptive mother is strikingly different, a warm yet unflinching presence in young Cassian's life and a buoy in the storm of his chaotic adulthood. By the time we meet her in her later years, her patience with the Empire has just about worn out. In her own words she says, "I can tell you everything about Maarva, but I'm not sure I should." It's very interesting to play an older character because you play somebody who sort of boiled down their values to just what they think matters. There's a sharp clarity to Maarva Andor, who embodies a multitude of identities. She's a mother, a widow, and leader among others. Maarva is beginning to view the world differently though, including the oppression that she's absorbed, because the Empire does keep them all down, and they're not proud of that. People get ashamed of being kept down, and Maarva's husband has been killed by the very same Empire and hanged in the town square, so she's had to swallow a lot of pride over the years, and we meet her at a point where maybe that's becoming really untenable. So about this group, the Daughters of Ferrix, they say, Maarva has earned her place among a community of hardworking salvagers on the industrial planet she calls home. Fiona describes Maarva as unusual. People there work very hard, but they're full of community, and I think the value of community becomes more important as the series goes on. So here she's hinting at this revolution that we expect to see on Ferrix. And another interesting point she makes is the complexity of family life, saying it's very enriching but very difficult. And of course, in episode 7, we had that heartbreaking scene before Andor goes off to Niamos, where Maarva can't go and Andor can't stay, and she tells him that. She says, "Go off, find your peace, and live a happy life." But naturally, Andor being her son says, "I won't have peace, I'll be thinking about you all the time," and Fiona Shaw delivers that beautifully heartbreaking line, "That's just love. Nothing you can do about that." That really pulled on my heartstrings, and I saw a lot of people when I tweeted this out say exactly the same. It touched people in various ways. That was an amazingly delivered line and gets to the heart and humanity of what Tony Gilroy set up in this show. Fiona Shaw finishes by talking about what it was like working with a droid, B2EMO, and she compares him to an old, loyal dog, and that's what's going to be really tragic if Maarva dies. B2 won't have anyone in the Andor family left on Ferrix. Hopefully Bix will look after him, or if Andor escapes and comes back to Ferrix, maybe he can take him with him. But I think there's a reason we don't see B2 by the time of Rogue One. Some fans think he becomes K2SO, but that means they would have to retcon the comics. Since Disney's happy to do that with recent properties, who knows, maybe that theory will come true. But for the time being, guys, we have all of these different characters and plot threads that are evolving in front of us. Super exciting stuff. But what do you guys think? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited for Andor episode 9? Why so, why not? And what are your predictions for the last 4 episodes of this season? If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you always.